There are many amoebae which actually make a shell for themselves. Here is an amoeboid shell. Here's another one shaped like a little purse, and you can see some tiny protozoan there. This is a dead and empty shell. You can see the little protozoan is knobbling around on the off chance of finding something. And that is the shell of an amoeba. The amoeba's not in it anymore, but these amoebae will actually pick up little sand grains and fit them together to make a shell. Now, you might think, caddisflies do that. I remember caddisfly larvae when I was a kid in a pond, yes. But a caddisfly makes a crappy, cruddy sort of a random-looking, messy shell for itself, and it's got a brain, it's got cement glands, it's got claws, it's got a skeleton, it's got nerves, it's got blood vessels. This is an amoeba, and it makes a beautiful little shell. And if you want an example of how clever you have to be to make a shell like that, then look at the kind of similar things that humans make. Because on a market stall, I found these little lampshades, and they're made in exactly the same way as the way in which an amoeba builds its shell. Here is one of those lampshades. Isn't it extraordinary? You can actually see there's a bit missing. I've never seen a bit missing when an amoeba makes its shell. But in actual fact, you can see what an amoeba would have made for itself, because this is the amoeba's version. And it's exactly the same proportions and just as beautiful, and yet the amoeba does it with just those little pseudopodia. Simple. I don't think these shell-building amoebae are simple at all. In fact, I gave a lecture about them many years ago, and about 6 months later, I turned on the telly to find that they popped up on the television.
When an amoeba splits up, who gets the house?
Oh, I see.
Who gets the house?
Well, yes,
I thought the whole idea was that they split, they get two houses. There's some sort of perfect world of...
They assemble grains of sand, and they make that. That protects them.
Is that loads of grains of sand as they pull around?
Yeah, each one of those. It's about the size of a full stop on an average newspaper.
So, we've never heard that before.
That's a
No,
goal.
That is actually quite interesting.
Hooray!
Why have we never heard of that?
I don't know. I suppose, really.
They never mentioned that at school.
It's
No, they
been a
should,
conspiracy to keep this information from us.
I mean, Eddie Izzard was famous on his program for never being impressed by anything. And this is the first time that he'd ever said he thought that something was really, really interesting. And I love Bill Bailey's comment. No. He said, this is a conspiracy to keep this information from us.
That is actually quite interesting. We've never heard that before. Why have we never heard of that? They never mentioned that at school.
It's been a conspiracy to keep this information from us.
No, it's not a conspiracy. It's just ignorance.